Hey everybody, welcome into what has quickly become my favorite day of the week that the day that I get to make this program. My name is Chip Brewster. I'm a national digital host with Nexstar Media, and this program, Across America, Good News Edition. So once a week, I get to look back at all of the positive feature stories that has been produced by the journalists of Nexstar, which are throughout America, 100 plus newsrooms, and try to compile 6, 7, 8, 9-ish of those stories into one program. So this is for the week leading up to Friday, November 7th, 2025, and has quite a slew of interesting stories. Let's take a look at a few that we're going to show. A physical book that uses augmented reality, a Kentucky twist, speaking of novels, on a very well-known novel, a paramedic, 40 plus years on the job, retires, definitely deserves a feature story. An artist who's done some pretty famous work has a story of his own to share, and I promised, and I continue to uphold that promise, at least one animal story in these shows, and that last one is going to be about a wild bald eagle that was rescued, rehabilitated, and returned to the wild. That return part, that is key. That doesn't always happen. But before we get to those stories, I mentioned that this is for the week preceding November 7th. That means the first day I'm looking at stories was October 31st, aka Halloween. And so the first two stories, I know it's weird at this point to talk about Halloween, but they were just, I couldn't pass them up. I needed to include them. It is all kid focused, of course. And just like, if you've never thought about Halloween and being celebrated in a place that is otherwise, often sad, this is how they pull it off. And for those that know exactly what I'm talking about, hospital situations. So this first story coming to us from our station WPIX in New York City, New York, and how one children's hospital there celebrated Halloween with their youngest patients.
She was pretty bummed out, not being able to be in school, not being able to be with her friends.
It's not easy to be in the hospital for anyone, but especially for children.
Does everyone have their candy bags?
This has now become an annual tradition here at New York City Health and Hospice Jacoby in the pediatric service.
This is beautiful.
We do an annual Halloween parade and Halloween party for pediatric patients who are admitted to our service.
Being able to trick or treat, see animals, see different things, different costumes, see other children with different costumes.
I thought Mario.
Seeing them light up made us light up, and it also brought us back.
Yeah, I play. I got a lot of candy.
Everybody loves candy.
Okay.
To let them know that they're not left out.
At the end of the day, these are still children regardless of their illnesses, and we want to offer a therapeutic and safe space for them still to be a child.
Take them out trick or treating so everybody can see how great they look, and the children just be smiling and having so much fun.
Spider-Man!
Spider-Man is always a big hit.
Oh man, I think we had about maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah, I had really fun.
The impact that joy and laughter can have on a child's health and well-being, I think, is understated.
There's a lot of clapping, laughing. They're feeling good. They're doing their pumpkins. They enjoying it.
We don't just treat the physical wounds of children or their medical illness. We also just try to make them feel happy and give them some type of joy. And that sometimes can have more of an effect than any medicine we prescribe or any intervention that we do.
Don't never forget about the ones that's in the hospital. They still want to be there and they still want to have fun as well.
Happy Halloween.
What a great story. And I love it because in the industry, we call that a nat pack, where there was no reporter, no one on camera. They just brought you into that scene. So it was as if you were in the hospital right along with those kids, that staff, those doctors, nurses, adults. Very cool what they are able to do and how they're able to support their patients, even on a holiday that's really designed to be out and about running around, right? So I said it, they kind of said it. Smallest patients. Well, that's not technically true, or littlest or youngest. There are other parts of our healthcare system, NICUs, that are designed for even the smallest of patients. And even they too get a Halloween celebration.
Pretty cute.
It's feeding time for baby Emmy, who was born 10 weeks early and only weighed
2 pounds, 14 ounces.
After 6 weeks in the NICU, she's gained nearly 2 more pounds and is now celebrating a holiday she wasn't planned to be here for.
The staff here is just amazing. They've been so welcoming and caring for Emmy so well. So For Halloween, we wanted to dress her up like one of our heroes and her hero too, which is the nurses.
Hi, mister. Hi.
Nurses that take care of these babies and give their parents a special memory of their first Halloween. Little Damien is dressed as a dinosaur after coming early at 36 weeks and spending the past 36 days in the NICU.
He's a champ. I'm so proud of him, and he's come a very long way.
And tiaras for twin girls Lucy and Jacqueline, who were born at 32 weeks.
It's something that we've been looking forward to for like weeks. Everyone asks us, what are the girls being? And actually a nurse and a respiratory therapist chose the outfits for the girls. And I thought that was so special that I didn't have to decide, but someone else wanted to. And they loved the girls enough that they did that.
A labor of love from the medical team that cares for these little babies every day and photographs them for Halloween.
It's just one of the moments we can make this place a little better for them. It's our place to be a parent.
Thanks to generosity from parents who get it. Both of Janice and Damien Beard's babies were admitted to the NICU after they were born, and now they are on a mission to help parents who are going through the same journey.
There are others that have been there, that are doing it, and we are all here to support you. You're not alone.
As leaders of the Holding Tiny Hands Foundation, they provide resources and support for families, as well as gather Halloween costumes to donate to Mercy One.
So oftentimes, some of those normal things that parents do, whether it's changing their diaper or feeding them, oftentimes they don't get to do those things when they're so tiny. And so getting to dress them up in these costumes makes them feel like they are parents, and that creates that bonding connection that is so valuable for these babies and for parents.
An effort to educate everyone about the NICU experience.
I think it makes people who have gone through this feel seen and have a sense of community too. And for us as nurses, it's important for people to know what our NICU can provide as well, so that they feel comfortable and confident in our treatment that we can provide too.
A meaningful moment for those currently going through it.
To remind us, that he's a fighter and it all happens for a reason.
Oh my gosh, those photos, right? The photos of the tiniest ones at the end there. So as I said, I wanted to include Halloween because that was a part of the week preceding this day. I will tell you, there was like a dozen of those stories out there. So this one from WHO in Des Moines, Iowa, the first one from New York. I mean, it really is all across America, and it's an annual one. Hopefully I'm still doing this in a year, and we get to do this again next year and look at maybe we'll do a special. I don't know. If the cuteness was too much, you let me know. If it wasn't enough, there is plenty more where that came from. For this show, though, that is where we stop, and then we will continue on into November to look at some of the other great stories that have been made across America by our Nexstar journalists. Before we get to those, we're going to take a quick break, and I'll see you back here on the other side. And we are back. So this first non-Halloween story of the rest of this show, we are heading out to San Diego, our station there, KSWB. And it's a feature piece, what we call a profile piece. It's all about one person and their amazing career, 40 plus years as a paramedic. Can you just imagine, maybe you know a paramedic, the things that they have seen, the lives they have literally saved. Very deserving of a feature piece, and I'm excited that I can bring them onto this show as well.
They say not all heroes wear capes.
Good morning.
This one wears a badge and a paramedic uniform.
She's rappelled down mountains. She's hung from a rope trying to rescue people out of a car because they're hanging on a cliff.
Packing up all the essentials.
Cold packs, splints, IV supplies.
For another day of running calls for American medical response.
That stuff is heavy, and it gets heavier every year.
This is what Ruth Hamilton Wilson wanted to do her whole life.
If I can make one person feel better during the day, it's worth it.
Her years of work recognized in 2022 when she was honored as the Hero of the Year in La Mesa, creating tangible progress for people who look like her.
People would see me get out of an ambulance and go, all right, black medic, oh, okay, do you.
Hamilton Wilson began her career as the only black female medic in San Diego County.
Most people who are racist were raised racist. They don't know anything else. So I was able to teach them that, yes, there is something else. We're not all criminals. There are those of us who are out there who like to help people, who want to help people.
After years of being the only black woman medic at AMR, she's now joined by 2 others.
What I want is for black women to know that, hey, we can do this. Because there's a lot of people who think we can't.
For more than 40 years, she'd take hundreds of thousands of calls, saving countless lives in ambulances like this one. But that was her last day on the job, and now she's celebrating with all her loved ones.
There's times where it's like, okay, have I made a difference in anyone's life? I mean, I know I have as a medic, but have I done it as a person?
And here, that impact is evident.
I can't forget that because you literally saved my husband's life. No, we won't ever forget it.
She's the one that will give you the shirt off her back. She's that person, and she doesn't ask anything in return.
Hamilton Wilson finally retires from AMR on Thursday after 4 decades of making a difference.
To do this job, you have to have an amazing support system.
Taking a look around the room on Thursday afternoon.
I love you. I really do.
You can see why she made it all those years.
Everybody has been the priority, so I'm really excited for her to realize that, now she can put that time into herself.
On her busy final shift of her career, she says bittersweet goodbyes.
I thanked them for making the last few years of my career amazing. And then I walked down to the medic office and cried.
So maybe all heroes don't wear capes.
She's a hero for sure. She's my hero.
But this one definitely has superpowers.
And he told me he had to work tomorrow, and I looked at him and said, I don't. I do not have to work.
For Fox 5 News, I'm Dominique Lavigne.
Yeah, Ruth. Congratulations. And thank you. Just as a member of the community in general. Thank you. Awesome story. If you're in San Diego, hopefully you saw that. Maybe you'll run into her and you can let her know and ask some great questions because I'm sure she's got plenty of individual stories to share. We have another individual story to share ourselves here on this show. This one, what caught my eye about it is it's an artist, and the work that they've done for the people they've done that work for is what will make you go, oh, wow. But then to hear more about their own struggles and some of the things that they went through, I was like, this one's going in the show for sure. So this next one's coming to us from our station in New Haven, Connecticut, WTNH, and it is all about that person's struggles and how they've overcome it to continue pursuing their dream that they get to live in their everyday life.
Nino is in his element in his studio in Madison. He once had an office job, but took the brave step of becoming a full-time artist 26 years ago and hasn't looked back.
I live a life of creativity. You got to wake up every day excited to create something out of nothing. It's a very positive career.
One opportunity of painting faux wall work for Judge Judy led to recommendations to other stars for paintings.
Patrick did a great job on this picture. I've never seen anything like it. It was really scary.
And murals, lots of them, for Post Malone. Sylvester Stallone for his Rocky mural in Philadelphia.
You are doing an absolutely brilliant job. I think it's better than the original. I can't wait to see it in person.
Athlete Dennis Rodman, the late wrestler Hulk Hogan, and actor Chevy Chase. He really loves huge murals like this one in Middletown.
A lot of it is contorting my body, right? So you're putting your body in odd areas.
But being on scaffolds and in bucket trucks to intensely paint took its toll.
Something happened, and all of a sudden this pain from the shoulder dropped down to the tricep, then to the forearm, and then my hand went numb.
He was diagnosed with 2 herniated discs. Physical therapy didn't work.
So obviously that's my life, that's my career. This arm right here is imperative to me. So it's super important to have Dr. Yu, look at it and fix it essentially.
Enter Hartford Healthcare spine surgeon James Yu and his artificial disc replacement device. Patrick painted him on the day of our interview. He explains what happens when a disc becomes herniated.
Sometimes it can kind of come out. And when it comes out, it presses on a nerve, and it can either chemically irritate it, or it can actually cause a compressive problem, or both.
That leads to an intense burning pain in the arm, and it was Patrick's painting arm. Dr. Yu shared these MRIs. Here, the spinal column is smooth, but here, the herniated discs are out of alignment, causing pressure. Dr. Yu replaced Patrick's discs with 2 of these ceramic devices called Simplify, going in through the front of his neck.
What I have in my hand right now is made of a ceramic material, so it's MRI compatible, as opposed to, say, previous versions of disc replacements, which were more metallic.
Recovery was brief, and Patrick got right back to work. He had committed to this Hamptons event with Chevy Chase and Christy Brinkley, painting this that night for free and having it auctioned off for an animal charity. Dr. Yu was even there to see his patient.
All the people you make happy in the world.
Patrick can't believe his new lease on life and career.
I thought I'd have a little bit of pain in my shoulder the rest of my life, and I was okay with that. So the fact that I have no pain now is incredible.
Dr. Yu says that people with arthritis or soft bones probably would not be candidates for the disc. They can be used in the spine as well, giving people a range of motion. It's technology that has improved since the older method of fusing bones together. We have more at WTNH.com and the News 8 app. Lisa Carberg, News 8.
Oh, and Lisa, thanks for bringing that up. I always forget to bring that up on my own. Any of these stories, if you're looking for more information, that local Nexstar station that I am letting you know where it's coming from, they've got more on their local website, their local app, etc. Okay, we got more stories ahead. I do have to take one more quick break, but then when we come back, we are talking about augmented reality in a physical book, a Kentucky twist on a well-known novel, and my promised animal story. All that and more. Not and more, just all of that. Sorry. Oh, cliches. When we come back. I'm not a big cliche guy either, so I kick myself when I hear myself say things like that. So let's just get to the stories. That's why we're here, right? Augmented reality in a physical book. So this one it's super cool. And if you're not familiar with augmented reality, you're about to witness it firsthand. I will say that the crux of this story is an author who was selected to be on Oprah Winfrey's list. So you might have even already heard about this one if you're a follower. If not, hey, you're seeing it for here. You're seeing it for the first time right here. And it's coming from our station in Denver, Colorado, KDVR.
I was like, what's happening?
You can imagine Kayla Silber's excitement when she got the news her book was going to be one of Oprah's favorite things for 2025.
I can't describe to you the feeling of that moment after all that hard work.
It was picked because it really isn't like any children's book you've ever seen, or any book you've ever seen for that matter. Silber spent years as an augmented reality artist, and that's what inspired this book.
And I was a traditional artist creating multimedia, mixed media paintings, and I discovered augmented reality, and I realized I could bring my paintings to life. So started developing this very meticulous, very precise process of animating my paintings and creating kind of hidden worlds that would be revealed when you held a phone up to them.
You can read the book without a smartphone or tablet, no problem. But when you view it through a device camera, it uses cutting-edge AR and AI technology to come alive with animation and original music.
So the story is about a fairy named Rosie, and she gets stranded outside her world in a freezing snowstorm in human world. And the only way that she can get back is through a fully bloomed rose.
Kids say seeing the story like this is like stepping into a storybook.
I love the jaw-dropping joy that both children and adults experience. Like little kids will experience it and adults will experience it.
Silber published the book herself. She didn't have a whole lot of help with this, never imagining she'd get the life-changing news she made Oprah's list. Just as exciting as today's news for Silber are the possibilities for this kind of technology in future storytelling.
The goal is to kind of create a new art form that can open up a world of reading that has now been kind of lost for this generation.
The looks on those kids' faces, like when I first saw the story, I was doing the exact same thing, just like, Wow. And she's talking about being a mixed media artist. That's like the ultimate mixed media, isn't it? The physical book, the augmented reality that is animation effectively. Very cool. And I'm sure, like me, you're probably looking up where it is you might be able to get that book, because you got someone, whether it's you or a kid or someone else, who might be interested in it in your life. Man, I am flubbing all the words today. Let's continue on, shall we? This next one, speaking of books, this is a very well-known franchise, both in written word and on the big screen. And you are going to recognize it immediately. But we are not going to New Zealand. Oh, no, we are going to Kentucky.
This gravel road may appear to be in the middle of nowhere, but it leads to Middle Earth.
Well, it actually come up better than what we expected.
Visitors to this farm near Willisburg will feel as if they're in the Shire, land of the hobbits.
This is a big plus for this area, and it's going to be much bigger than I believe that they think it's going to be.
This place is called Reston Holes, a collection of 4 novel rooms inspired by a novel. For Salvador and Susan Samudio, it's a dream come true that all started with the big round doors.
I come up one morning and look up when the sun rises over that side, and it looked really pretty to me. So I said, well, this would be a good place to do something like this.
The couple designed the village themselves, and Salvador is a wizard when it comes to construction. From a waterfall to a pond and concrete trees that stand out front and frame bunk beds inside. Susan added touches throughout to make the holes feel homey, but they weren't always a Renaissance couple.
This is a new thing for us. Like, once we started building it and people were like, oh, that's like The Hobbit, we were like, okay, so let's adventure into that. And we watched all the movies, and then I decided, let's go to a Renaissance fair, and we went to one, and we had a blast.
When the village officially opened about a month ago, people embraced it as a place for fantasy fellowship, coming in costume as fairies and gnomes, warriors and warlocks. Avery Hamlin came and found her happy place.
I love books, and so like this is like me walking inside a book and like making me not want to leave.
Despite the Middle Ages theme, there are modern comforts, such as king-size beds, walk-in showers, a sauna and hot tub, and a large room for meetings and receptions. But most of all, it's meant to be an escape from whatever may be dragging you down.
I hope that people who stay here have a magical time.
That's the whole purpose. In Willisburg, Marvin Bartlett with the spirit of the bluegrass.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know. I saw it. Same thing. Like so many of these stories, it just kind of caught my attention. I went, I think people would be interested in this. And if you're not in the area, you don't see it otherwise. So you see it on this show. We're going to end with a story, an animal story. 11 weeks strong, keeping it going. This one coming to us from our state. Oh, by the way, that last one was our station in Lexington, Kentucky, WDKY. This next one, this last one of the show from our station in Rock Island, Illinois, WHBF. And all about rescuing and restoring a bald eagle so it could return to its natural habitat.
They call her Baby E. Her rescue began on the Illinois side of the Mississippi River near I-80.
It was windy one day and was on top of a yellow pine, and my neighbor noticed the whole nest toppled out of the tree, and it landed on the ground, and he saw one was really injured and the other one wasn't moving much. So.
Baby E's sibling didn't make it. An x-ray show where her wing was broken.
We were told to euthanize her because of her broken wing, and I refused.
Instead, Baby E became the youngest bald eagle Kewanee-based Hog Capital Wildlife Rescue and Rehabilitation has ever taken on.
She's sassy. Well, and actually, she was very calm at first when she first came in because she was tiny and scared. But as she's grown, she has become the boss baby.
And she's learned a lot since coming to them in April.
She pretty much had instinct right from the get-go.
Which made it possible to release her back to the wild, right about the time other eagles her age are getting kicked out of the nests by their parents.
We chose this location because there's other eagles. She can continue on to learn what she needs to from other adults.
So late Saturday morning near Fulton, Baby E took flight.
Oh, thank goodness.
Awesome flight.
Our baby's free.
Almost looked like it was in slow motion.
everything that we give back to nature, there's always the risk that they may not do okay, but that's any bird. Look at that flight.
I was happy to find someone local that had the expertise to take care of that situation. It had been heartbreaking to see them both pass away that day.
They won't be able to track baby E, but she settled in some woods near Lock and Dam 13. Eric Olson, our Quad Cities News.
Cool. Just cool, right? To get that full story and know that there are people out there doing that kind of work. Excellent. Well, I hope this whole episode you have been feeling those kinds of feelings as we went through Halloween in the hospitals for kids and the amazing medic who had done 40 years of service and on, and you're going to continue tuning in to your local Nexstar station app, wherever you're watching this, as we continue to get this show going. Sorry again for all the flubs today, guys. I had literally had some peanut butter right before this, and that's my biggest regret. I'm going to blame the peanut butter on that one. Hey, until next week, where I won't eat peanut butter before the show, I'm Chip Brewster. Take care, everybody. I'll see you next time.